From Neural Newscast, this is Stereo Current, sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.
Stereo.
The needle drops, the static clears, and suddenly the room feels just a little more crowded with the ghosts of the digital age. Welcome to Stereo Current, your daily briefing on indie intelligence.
It is August 16th, 2026, and the landscape is shifting under our feet. Surprise drops, arena-tier indie stars retreating to the shadows, and the constant hum of the analog fighting back against the algorithm.
It is a lot to process, Julian. But we start with the masters of the unexpected. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard just pulled a midnight heist on our attention spans. Their 28th album, Alien Metal, dropped this past Friday as a total surprise.
It is wild. They are out in Buena Vista, Colorado for their Field of Vision festival right now. And ESPN reports this one was birthed entirely from Nathan. That is their massive modular synthesizer rig. It is a follow-up to 2023's The Silver Chord, but this feels even more unhinged.
Joey Walker described it as a pulsating techno neo-rave thing. And honestly, that tracks. 1 hour of improvisation in F-sharp that evolved into jungle, IDM, and house. It is King Gizzard doing what they do best, refusing to stay in the box they built for themselves 5 minutes ago.
And the festival itself sounds like a beautiful fever dream. Acid yoga, drag story hour, and a rare solo set from Stu McKenzie. They are streaming it for free, which is such a Gizzard move, building a community while they melt your brain with modular frequencies.
Speaking of community and melting brains, we have to talk about the return of the Queen. After years of opening for the biggest pop stars on the planet, Phoebe Bridgers has finally delivered Lost Weekend on Dead Oceans. It is a record that feels like a quiet exhale after a 4-year sprint.
Under the Radar gave it a 9 out of 10, and it has earned every bit of that praise. Sloan, the list of collaborators here is like a roll call for the best of the indie sphere. Alex G, Blake Mills, Mike Kinsella, even Bo Burnham. It is a dense, detailed piece of work.
It's fascinating how she has navigated that move from indie famous to just famous, as the reviews point out. Lost Weekend deals with the death of her father and the surreal nature of the spotlight. But tracks like Bobby show this surprising, lilting serenity. It is a haunted record, but the ghosts are finally being invited to dance.
The production is what kills me, Sloan. Those vocoded gut punches on the opener, the outside, and then that wordless digitized collage at the end of the title track. It rewards the people who actually sit down with the vinyl and a pair of good headphones.
It is a masterclass in pointerist songwriting. And while we're on the subject of long-awaited returns, Erykah Badu and The Alchemist finally broke their silence. Their joint project, which has been teased for a decade, is officially arriving on August 28th via Control FREAQ and Young Recordings.
I have been waiting for this since they first road-tested the material with the cannabinoids. The new single, Witch Doctor, is exactly what I wanted. Alchemist's warm, punchy samples being deconstructed by Badu's kalimba and layered chords. It is Dallas meeting LA in a way that feels utterly timeless.
ESPN mentioned they spent 18 months recording this between those two cities.
It is her first studio album in 16 years, Julian. 16 years! The Alchemist drops 16 albums a month. But for Badu, every note has to be marinated in existential reflection.
That is the beauty of it. You cannot rush that kind of chemistry. They're hitting the Hollywood Bowl late next month to wrap the tour, and I expect it will be one of those I was there moments for the scene.
While Badu and Bridgers are reclaiming their space at the top, Simi is reclaiming her narrative from the trolls beneath. Her new track, Truckers and Trolls, is a direct response to a viral TikTok incident involving a pallet delivery driver at her home.
It is a wild story, Sloan. Out Now magazine detailed how a polite disagreement turned into a viral pylon with over 550 hateful comments from strangers. Simi took that vitriol and turned it into a sonic rejection of the trial by social media culture we're living in.
She's always been one for raw honesty. Her debut album Scandal back in 2009 set that tone. But Truckers and Trolls feels particularly sharp because it turns digital hostility into creative fuel. It's amusement and pity for people who choose digital theater over authentic connection.
It is the ultimate artist revenge. Speaking of artists who understand the weight of the moment, Alex G is continuing his partnership with Jane Schoenbrunn. He has scored their new horror film, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, which just won the Queer Palm at Cannes.
That title is pure Schoenbrunn, and Waxwork Records is handling the release starting August 21st. The lead track, Pain is the Heart of Love, features Paul Buchanan of the Blue Nile. It's this bittersweet, dreamlike collision of guitar and orchestral flourishes.
Snowbrun and Alex G have such a specific shorthand now. After we're all going to the World's Fair and I saw the TV glow, they've basically defined a new aesthetic for indie horror. It is about genre excess as self-discovery, and Alex's score is the heartbeat of that.
It is a busy month for him, too, since he is all over that Phoebe Bridgers record we just talked about. But let us pivot to something a bit more analog. Descendants just got the deluxe treatment from Org Music with a vinyl reissue of Live Edge.
As a vinyl guy, I am obsessed with this. Under the Radar noted how incredible this 1987 Minneapolis recording sounds on the new pressing. It is Milo Aukerman at his most goofy and endearing, ad-libbing through tracks like Hope and Wendy. It feels like they are in the room with you.
It is a de facto greatest hits, really, and it captures that era before they became the elder statesmen of punk. Just pure coffee-fueled intensity. It is the perfect counterpoint to the more polished releases we've seen this week.
Agreed. Now, Sloan, I want to talk about Paqx. He is a New Orleans artist with a biomedical engineering background, but he's doing something far more radical than just making music. He's built a platform called SonicCritic.
I saw that A&R Factory interview. He's paying artists 88% of net subscription revenue. In a city like New Orleans, where the economics of being a musician are notoriously brutal, that is a massive statement. He's using his engineering brain to solve the creative problem of streaming.
He taught himself software to build it because he was tired of seeing artists lose their credits or get pushed out. He's essentially building a fairer sonic ground from the back room. It is New Orleans resilience distilled into a direct-to-fan platform.
It's that kind of hustle that keeps the scene alive. And speaking of grit, Les Pauls, not the guitar, but the duo of Paul Odiase and Paul Robert Thomas, just released their 31st album, Time to Get Real. 31 albums since 2014, Julian. That is a relentless pace.
And James Fear points out that no AI-generated audio touches this record. It's all real instruments, all human conviction. They're tackling war, addiction, and the Harlem Hellfighters. It's blues as a historical record, mourning sacrifice while refusing to collapse into despair.
The track Postcard from No Man's Land is particularly heavy. It is refreshing to see artists using the blues to talk about systemic hypocrisy and historical recognition. It is not just about the past. It is a moral inventory of right now.
Exactly. And for something a bit more intimate, Sal Weston's new album Darlin' is a Boston home studio gem. Obscure Sound described it as 1970s singer-songwriter warmth meets indie folk intimacy. It's jangly, it's soulful, and it's deeply resonant.
Weston has this way of making the mundane feel soaring. The title track handles the fear of growing old with such a melodic, introspective allure. It is the kind of record that makes you feel like the grass is actually greenest exactly where you are standing.
We should also give a shout out to the Canadian side of things. Chris Colepaw and the Cosmic Crew are back with The Work Makes Me. It is a powerhouse of roots rock. Riverview Canada's finest, really.
It's All Indie was raving about that guitar solo at the 2-minute mark. Pure 80s grit. It is high-octane Americana with a bluesy soul. If you need something to wake you up, that brooding guitar line will do it in about 3 seconds.
And lastly, there is Luke Martin, a London indie pop voice making waves with his debut Superstar. It's got that festival-ready energy. Think the Maccabees or the Kooks. He's already building a solid base with 2,500 monthly listeners before even hitting the big stages.
It's a reminder that the pipeline of talent never stops, whether it's coming from a home studio in Boston or a flat in London. From Phoebe's arena-scale grief to Simi's viral defiance, this week has been about reclaiming the human element in a digital world.
That's the core of it, Sloan. Whether it's Paqx rebuilding the economics or Les Paul's keeping the blues honest, the scene is fighting for its soul.
And we will be here to chronicle every distortion and every breakthrough. Thanks for joining us for this daily briefing.
Before we head out, it is time for our 10 essential listens for your week.
Starting us off at number 1 is Phoebe Bridgers with Punisher. Even as we wait for what she does next, this record remains the definitive touchstone for atmospheric storytelling.
At number 2, we have King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with the Silver Chord. It is a fantastic pivot into modular synths and electronic exploration.
Next up is Alex G's score for I Saw the TV Glow. These compositions are haunting and perfectly capture that sense of surreal cinematic nostalgia.
For number 4, check out Simi's Truckers and Trolls. It is a defiant, guitar-driven standout coming straight out of the London indie pop scene.
Then we have Chris Colepaw and the Cosmic Crew with The Work Makes Me. This is high-octane roots rock with real analog conviction.
Number 6 is a classic, Livage by Descendants. It is a seminal document of punk history that captures all that raw energy from before the digital age.
Moving to number 7, it is Les Paul's, also known as the Pauls, with Time to Get Real. It's North London blues rock that tackles some heavy truths.
At number 8, we recommend Sal Weston's Darlin'. It is a warm, intimate home studio recording that really prioritizes emotional honesty.
Our 9th pick is The Alchemist with Flying High. He continues to show why he is a master at blending disparate samples into cohesive soundscapes.
And finally, at number 10, we have Erykah Badu's New America Part 2, Return of the Ankh, a neo-soul masterclass that remains a critical reference for art pop fusion.
And with that stack on your queue, keep the analog spirit alive and we will catch you tomorrow.
Stereo Current is a production of the Neural Newscast Venture. Find us at stereocurrent.neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Stereo Current on Neural Newscast. Sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.